I'm going to start this story with a disclaimer. That is, my sister is a lovely human being. Don't you dare tag me in this online. And do not tell Emily about this. That said, I really do mean that. She's a wonderful human being. And if you've had the pleasure of meeting her, you actually probably would like her a little bit more than me. So there's that, and that's cool. So I'm a twin. For those of you who don't know that, you don't probably know me well enough to be scared. For those of you who do know me, you've probably already gone through that, a little bit of fear, and I told you, it's okay. We're not identical, and we really are very different. She's way more charming, but we have the same sarcastic sense of humor. Our entire childhood was spent mostly with me being a jerk. There was a time where I hid in my bed. We shared a bedroom because, like, being twins wasn't enough. We shared a bedroom. And I bit my arm till it bled and turned to my mother and said, "Look what she did." And my mother went, "What are you talking about? She's not even in this room and I am." And then I learned that I needed to craft my evil plotting a little bit better. We never got along while we were living together. We finally got to separate bedrooms when I think we were 15. It was a couple years a little too late, but that's okay. Eileen and I were, like she said earlier, we're talking about wanting to add to stories tonight, and we're talking about celebrations, and I said to her, well, the only thing I have about celebrations is that I never had a damn birthday to myself. And we talked about it, and it's true. Until I was 18, 19 years old, I never had my own birthday. We had my aunt at the time. She passed when we were younger, but she was a magician. So, the excitement of being called up when you're 5 to be the magician's assistant, but it's not just you. It's you and Emily. And you're going to hold each sides of the rope, and you're going to hold it, and the knot's going to disappear, but you're not the only person getting clapped for. It's 2 of you. Or you're roller skating, and Emily's way better at roller skating than I am, which is why I joked about hurting myself at Ski Round Top. And on top of that, we just everything like that. It was always a constant one-up with the 2 of us. So it wasn't until I turned 19 that I actually had my very first birthday cake that I actually wanted, because it was always easier to go with chocolate, because everybody likes chocolate. But when I turned 19, people made me a funfetti birthday cake, and it was like the best damn thing in my life, because I'm a super fan of funfetti cake. I might have cried. So because of all of this, I think I've always been more into celebrating other people's birthdays, and I think there are a lot of people in this room where, like, I'll show up right when they get there, and I'll be there till the end of it, and I'm like, keep going, it's your birthday, this is awesome. But when I am I was Eileen's birthday sheriff too. But always about, like, making sure that they celebrate to the, like, utmost of their celebration abilities that day. But for me, it was never really a thing, because it was never really my birthday. So when I turned 21, I was at the University of Richmond. I was like, hot damn, I'm 21, I'm old enough to drink. We're gonna go out, we're gonna celebrate my birthday. Well, it rained like 3 inches that night, and half my friends had their MCATs the next day, so actually no one came to my birthday, which was fine. It was my best friend and he, in very much similarities to Eileen's 21 shots, we did a lot of ridiculous shots, one of which was Jaeger, which I don't do, so I, like, barfed it right at midnight, and it said, do it again, you sucked at that, to the bartender. But it wasn't really until my 30th birthday that I feel like I actually really embraced celebrating me. And if you know me well enough and you get past my Kate exterior, it's hard for me to actually point out the good things about myself and really celebrate myself. And my 30th birthday, I had it at the pretzel company. It was kind of my, like, redo on 21, but I was not going to do any shots, and if anybody bought Jaeger, they'd be kicked out. Eileen also was the birthday sheriff that day. She wore a little badge. Her job was to basically look at me if she didn't recognize anyone, and I'd be like, kick them out, or no, they're fine, you can let them in. But that night was honestly, like, 30 years old, the first time that I looked around the room, and when people started singing happy birthday to me, I actually, like, got all, like, verklempt, which is the Southern phrase for me. Because I'm from Alabama, which is another spoiler alert about Kate. But to have that many people in the room that were willing and so excited to celebrate me. It was something I had never really experienced in my entire life. So I tend to still over-celebrate other people, and to come back to my sister and how I'm kind of a jerk to her a lot still. I do actually, Eileen asked me earlier, she's like, do you miss having her on your birthday? And my initial thought was no, but the longer I sat there, the longer I started thinking about that. Then I started feeling guilty. And I really do, because I feel like that it would be great to bring her into my celebrations and have her experience what I'm experiencing now, and have her celebrate herself as much as I'm lucky enough to have people around me to celebrate me. So.